Hello, my name is Sarah Jane Haney, and this is my EDL 959 Module 1 presentation. A little bit about me, and I will stop my webcam so that you can see some of my pictures, but I will put it back up. A little bit about me. So I am born and raised in Olathe, Kansas. I have a bachelor's in elementary education from KU, Rock Chalk. I am a first grade teacher at Eudora Elementary School, and a few things I love include my cats, who are pictured down here, Maple and Ace, the Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas basketball, and documentaries. So a little bit about my work. I've been at EES since August 2019. I just finished up year 4, and I am about to start year 5. 2020 is kind of what led me to FHSU. I saw myself taking on a lot of leadership roles during that COVID year. So I started this program. My goal is to transition to instructional coach and eventually possibly building principal. So now we'll go into the summary of the resources. The first resource is Breaking Barriers, District and School Administrators Engaging Family and Community as a Key Determinant of Student Success. This was a study conducted on one school district that showed academic gains related to family and community engagement. Some of the findings included that creating positive relationships minimize the impact of non-academic barriers, such as low attendance. Then the next resource was principals' perceptions of their roles as curriculum leaders. And this was a comparison of high school, middle, and elementary schools. This is another study conducted for principal perception on their role as a curriculum leader. This study included 82 principals, which at different levels. The findings showed that principals play a significant role in school curriculum. Their role is to supervise the implementation of curriculum, support teachers in their implementation, and evaluate the data that comes from teaching the curriculum. The next resource is Realizing the Promise: How Can Education Technology Improve Learning for All? This website or this resource provided surveys for guiding technology use and that districts can use to help determine what technology is needed. Technology should be used for enhancing work and improving education content. It should focus on improving quality instruction, facilitating differentiation for students at different levels, expanding opportunities for learning, and increasing student engagement. The next resource was The Importance of Curriculum to Teaching. This resource discussed implementing effective curriculum and what that looks like. Effective curriculum should give a measurable plan and structure for quality instruction that teachers can use. Teachers play an important role in developing, implementing, assessing, and modifying the curriculum, and that's how it should be in every district, and I know that's how it is within my district. Finally, administration should follow the same guidelines that the teachers do to increase scores, so they are following up with that use, development, and implementation of the curriculum to determine if it is effective. The next resource was Elementary Principals' Knowledge and Practices of Literacy Instruction, Impact on Teachers' Perceptions and Actions Related to Reading Instruction. This is another study conducted on principals' perceptions on their leadership surrounding literacy instruction. This study also included teachers. Teachers and principals were given literacy practice survey, and the teachers were assessing their own principals and how they believe they do in these areas. The principals rated themselves as proficient, while teachers rated their principals as exemplary. This shows that principals could benefit from continued professional development on literacy instruction. This next one was the importance of principals. So this resource discussed what was a study conducted on principal effectiveness and sort of their impact on students. So principals affects mostly indirectly in some of the ways that they do that will be discussed below. It is the second most important school-related factor which impacts student learning. So this is definitely something that's important to consider in having a strong administration. The 4 areas of skill focus include engaging in instruction-focused interactions, building productive climate, facilitating collaboration in PLCs, and then strategic management of personnel and resources. The next resource was Climate Change in Common Core Policy Context, the Shifting Role of Attitudes and Beliefs. This was another study which focused on the relationship between educators' belief and trust and the organizational climate overall. This showed that using the school climate survey, this showed that teacher trust and principal and innovative climate plays a critical role in implementing the Common Core state standards. The next one was Chapter 1, Social Emotional Learning, Movement, Growing Pains. Social Emotional Learning, or SEL, is learning and applying skills for managing emotions. There are 4 approaches for promoting SEL, which has become more popular in recent years. The first one is freestanding lessons through a curriculum, through an SEL curriculum, such as Second Step. I know that's what we use in my district. Embedding into teaching practices, integrating into the academic curriculum, and then school-wide initiatives such as PVIS. That's what we do in my district. The last resource, insights into high-quality curriculum planning. This discussed about curriculum and how it should look and be implemented to engage and empower teachers. Curriculum should be rigorous and aligned to high standards for students. Teachers should receive professional development that is curriculum aligned in order to support them to best implement the curriculum. Now we will do the critical reflection. So, evaluating the 10 academic activities at USD 491. The 10 that I determined were curriculum adoption, curriculum implementation, data collection, data analysis, professional development, intervention, technology engagement, project-based learning, PBIS, and progress monitoring. I believe my school administrator supports these activities by giving us time to collaborate and implement them. And then I think these activities are extremely beneficial to students and to teachers in order to see progress and make sure that we have the resources we need to support students. If I were in this position as an administrator, there's not a whole lot I would do different than what my administrator is currently doing, as I feel like he provides us adequate time to engage in these academic activities. The key stakeholders, including teachers, students, and parents, I believe, I can't speak for all of these stakeholders, but from my experiences and conversations, I believe that they're supportive of these different academic activities as they support student learning. These 10 academic activities increase equitable access to high-quality digital resources and technology-rich learning experiences by providing students opportunities that wouldn't be available otherwise. So technology engagement, students have their own devices. We're a one-to-one district, so that provides them more opportunities for additional practice to support their learning. In project-based learning, we're usually connecting with others digitally through using technology. So now we will evaluate the 10 non-academic activities in my district, including conferences, jog-a-thon to raise money for our district, community partnerships, extracurricular activities, parades such as our Halloween parade or our homecoming parade, summer academy, which is our summer school program, science fair, open house night, positive pals, and parent volunteers. So our administrator supports these activities by helping ensure that they are in place. Positive Pals was started by our administrator, and Science Fair and Open House Night are helped being planned by our administration. All of these different aspects our administration is heavily involved in to make sure it's successful. I think that these activities are important for engaging our families and our students in things that are different outside of the classroom, so that students and parents can have that conversation at home about what they're doing at school. If I was to do something differently as an administrator to change or do anything with these activities, I don't think there's a whole lot I would change. I think if anything, I would try to have more of a connection between the different schools, because right now it's pretty elementary does this, middle school does that, high school does that, rather than bringing it all together to see how we can collaborate. The different stakeholders, including teachers, students, parents, and other key stakeholders, um, think that these activities are beneficial as they get to come in and see the student work and experience what is going on in the day-to-days of our classrooms. When thinking about the things that my principal does and has not done, my principal is always very present in these situations, even though a majority of them are outside of school hours and working hours. My principal is there and present and talking and engaging with families and students. Um, I can't think of anything specific that my principal's not doing that they should. I feel like this is pretty well rounded and includes a lot of pieces. These 10 non academic activities provide an increase in equitable access to high quality digital resources and technology rich learning experiences by providing community members and parents the opportunity to engage with others, whether it's digitally or in person. A lot of these are in person, so I do think if there was to be any adjustments, it would be include more digital options for engaging families. Some of the non-academic barriers that I see faced are a lot of it's time for teachers, time for parents to engage in these activities. It can definitely take a toll in that way. But when it does happen, it is extremely beneficial. But I feel like time is the biggest thing. Preparing for it takes a lot of time and a lot of volunteering. And then just making sure that it's successful can also take a lot of time. Some of the activities I would develop further, so looking at the academic intervention, we do have a really great intervention block for each grade level. I would look at more of creating or adopting a more sound curriculum that's high quality for interventionists to be able to utilize to support our students that need that extra boost. And then also PBIS. This is something we preach about school wide, and it's something that they encourage in the classroom. But I do think this should be something more embedded into each classroom, and I think that starts with professional development. Some of the non-academic community partnerships, more connections. I feel like there can never be too many connections when it comes to the school working with the community. So I would just continue to develop that further. And then conferences, having more opportunities for parents to meet with teachers to discuss students and just the growth that they've made in those positive interactions. So some of the new activities I would implement, one of the new academic would be technology from home, sharing more student work at home digitally. That way parents can kind of be more involved. And then book buddies and tutors. This is something that I've done in previous schools and that I've seen done occasionally, but having the older kids be able to work more with the younger kids and grow relationships with them. For non-academic activities, doing assemblies, more assemblies. We don't have very many, and I think it's a great opportunity for students to get together and engage with each other and things that are not schoolwork. And then also sharing student work. This, again, would be digital technology from home, providing that opportunity for parents to be able to engage with that more often. Okay, now going into my relevancy statement, the research provided increased my knowledge of how leadership impacts academic and non academic activities and barriers by providing me with data that supports leadership impacts on different activities and how it is directly related to student learning and success. This assignment was relevant to my current learning because as a future building leader, I need to have a solid understanding of the impact I have on non academic and academic activities and how to implement them effectively. Technology plays a role in improving teaching and learning by offering more opportunities for student engagement and teacher resources to improve student learning. The curriculum I use currently is not technology rich because it is not built in consistently. It does not support academic learning by aligning to the standards and providing objectives for students. It sometimes supports non academic learning by providing opportunities for students to demonstrate learning in different ways while connecting students to their interests. So now I'll go into the personal reflection, and in order to do that, I'm going to turn off my camera. After accepting my first administration position, I would begin by conducting perception data to determine what academic and non-academic activities are in place that support student learning. I would then consider where there are deficits and what we can do to improve opportunities for student learning. Finally, I would create a team of different stakeholders to brainstorm, plan, and implement different activities to improve student learning. And then here are my references, and I'll turn off my camera so you can see all of them.